and never once you've heard us say bolognese.
Or bolognese.
Oh, don't.
She just shuddered as though it was a horror movie. Yeah. Bolognese.
Oh gosh,
You don't like
even
that. Ragu. That's meat sauce.
Ragu. That's what people here call bolognese. And ragu alla bolognese, meaning like the meat sauce done the bolognese way.
Okay.
But ragu is the word, not bolognese.
Okay, so ragu. It's not just for bottles. Bottled sauce. I think she just threw up. Italian for Travelers, episode 14, the How to Eat Like an Italian episode. In today's episode, Elisa explains how eating in Italy is less about the food and more about the art, traditions, and social aspects of the Italian culture. We learn about the categories of meals and snacks, as well as how to order food and coffee like an Italian.
Ciao! Benvenuti a Italian for Travelers, the second season of the Postcards from Italy podcast. I'm Elisa, a native Italian speaker and teacher. Although I was born in Emilia-Romagna, I've spent the last 18 years living in the US and teaching Italian to mostly American students. Along the way, I've learned a lot about what first-time travelers and new Italian language learners really want to know. In short, they want to live la Dolce Vita glamour, but without the grammar. This season, let's stamp your passport with some Italian vocabulary, cultural tips, dialogues, and practice lessons with my real-life student and friend, Erin. But we only share a fraction of what we talk about on our streaming episodes.
Visit www.postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for our bonus materials and subscribe to our newsletter for updates.
With our podcast and bonus materials, I can help you transform from just another tourist into a curious traveler. Okay. Here we go. Remember, don't worry if you cannot understand much during your first listen. Just relax, sit back, and enjoy la dolce lingua. Ok, cominciamo. Let's begin. Cari amici, benvenuti. Welcome to Italian for Travelers, episode 14, episodio 14, titled Buon appetito, come mangiare come un italiano.
Buon appetito. We all know that means good eating. How to eat like an Italian.
That's right. Now that you know where to eat in Italy and what to expect from an Italian menu, we'll give you an overview of Italian meals and what we typically eat at each one. And on top of that, we're going to teach you how to order food like an Italian.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Cominciamo. Let's start with our idiom. Pancia vuota non sente ragioni.
An empty stomach won't listen to advice.
I know for sure that mine doesn't.
Mine doesn't. And I've had 3 kids. You have a kid. We know.
Exactly. So we're going to encourage you to fill that stomach.
Fill that stomach. Yes. Okay. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's get ready for advice. Fill my tummy.
Let's start with a brief review of key glossary sentences from episode 13, because we're going to need them since we are carrying over the topic of food into this episode as well.
And also with Italian for Travelers, it's great for us to have this repetition.
Of course, la ripetizione è sempre importante.
Okay.
Repetition is always great. Simple communication is our goal. Therefore, we often provide the default masculine form of a noun or an adjective, and we prioritize formal communication over informal, unless otherwise noted. Don't worry, Italian speakers will still understand you.
A table for 2 or 3, please.
Un tavolo per 2 o 3, per favore.
I'm by myself.
Sono da solo or sono da sola.
Is this table free?
È libero questo tavolo?
I have a reservation.
Ho una prenotazione.
A table, please.
Un tavolo, per favore.
Outside.
Fuori.
Inside.
Dentro.
By the window.
Vicino alla finestra.
Menu.
Il menù.
Appetizer.
L'antipasto.
First course.
Il primo.
Second course.
Il secondo.
Side dishes.
I contorni.
Desserts.
I dolci.
Drinks.
Le bevande.
Wines.
I vini.
Digestives.
I digestivi or gli ammazzacaffè.
The check or the bill.
Il conto.
I'd like
Vorrei
the house special appetizers.
L'antipasto della casa.
The bill, please.
Il conto, per favore.
This is enough, thank you.
Basta così, grazie.
I'm full.
Sono pieno or sono piena.
Service fee.
Il servizio.
Cover fee.
Il coperto.
Tip.
La mancia. Let's now look at our cultural notes about all the different meals that we have in Italy. It may be a little bit more than you expect.
As if eating in Italy couldn't get better. So I could really eat probably for 24 hours straight.
Oh yeah, people would admire you greatly.
Okay, let's dive in.
So when visiting Italy, you may get the impression that life revolves around food. Well, you wouldn't be completely wrong. Everything seems to stop around meal times because we do love food, and sharing it with loved ones brings us incredible joy. That's why our days are dotted with food breaks and plenty of opportunities to relax and discuss life over a drink and something to eat. However, in spite of the enjoyable nature of eating and drinking in Italy, we have several rules when it comes to how, when, and what we consume. This is because food in Italy is not just food. It's an art, a tradition, and a social convention. There are right and wrong ways to eat a meal, and we'll definitely let you know if you're doing it incorrectly. We have created this episode and the next one to give you some helpful dining guidelines so you can learn more about Italy's culinary traditions and practice speaking and eating like an Italian.
I'm scared. Well, I'm scared because that sounds like a lot of pressure. It's like I thought I was going to go for like a good big plate of spaghetti
with meatballs?
It was spaghetti with meatballs in Italy. And
no.
Okay, so this is part of the culture. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm signed up for Postcards from Italy for season 2 for Italian for Travelers.
Yeah, this is what really matters.
Yeah.
The grammar is the cherry on the cake, and being able to say the right thing with the correct pronunciation or grammar is awesome. But this is what really matters. You mess up one of these, one of the food rules that we're going to teach you in this episode or the next one, our bonus episode. And yeah, that's what really gets you kicked out of the country or Italians mad at you.
Well, I mean, to put a positive spin on it, knowing these delicate food rules or these eating rules or all of the customs surrounding food in Italy actually makes for a more enjoyable experience.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about you getting kicked out of the country, but I'm going to say you're going to enjoy yourself a little bit more. Right?
Yeah. And of course, we're joking about being kicked out of the country, but Italians will roll their eyes at you. Or behind your back if you break certain rules, like ordering cappuccino at the end of a meal.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that.
Okay, so where do we start?
Let's start with la colazione.
Okay, with breakfast.
Yes. Italians typically eat a light, sugary breakfast, and most of them shudder at the idea of starting their day with savory foods. Life is hard enough as it is. For many, la colazione is eaten quickly between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., either at the bar before going to the office or at home. The typical breakfast at the bar consists of a cappuccino and a cornetto.
So that's a croissant.
Filled with miele,
honey,
crema,
custard,
marmellata,
jam,
or cioccolato.
Chocolate.
At home, Italians often have caffè,
coffee,
or caffè latte,
coffee with milk,
with a few biscotti,
cookies,
or fette biscottate,
toasted bread slices,
with burro,
butter,
and marmellata,
jam,
or yogurt and cereali,
cereals
for breakfast.
So one thing you wrote in here that I think is so funny is that Italians start with sugary foods because life is hard enough as it is. Mm-hmm. So why not start with the sweetness of life, la Dolce Vita, like as soon as your eyes open, right?
For many Italians, that's natural.
Yeah.
To just have something sweet. We cannot even imagine having sausage.
Wow. That's funny. Okay. Just for funsies, if you are traveling in Italy and you're looking for eggs, bacon, etc., more of an American or continental breakfast, like what would you recommend?
Some hotels will serve a continental breakfast, and so you'll find that. You may not find, scrambled eggs and sausages or bacon, but you will find maybe boiled eggs and the makings for a ham sandwich.
Possibly some cold cuts, some
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So some hotels will offer that opportunity to have a continental breakfast, but some won't. So always check your hotel when booking if that's important to you.
I generally prefer a bit more protein in the morning to prepare for long days of sightseeing and walking around. So if I'm not staying at a hotel that offers breakfast or an apartment where I can make my own food, I'll just check to see where I might be able to find a more substantial meal. And then maybe I'll grab a delicious pastry with my cafe before I start walking around the city.
Yeah, that's actually what we do. In Italy, we start with breakfast around 7 or 8, but then mid-morning, we'll see, we'll have lo spuntino,
Okay, a
which
little
for
snack.
some can be substantial, for many will be something a little lighter, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So then next that takes us to
Lo spuntino.
the light snack.
Yes. A spuntino is usually eaten either between main meals or occasionally in place of one of them. A spuntino is light in nature, like an apple
Mela.
or a yogurt, and can be consumed at any point during the day. Voracious Italians will have, for example, uno spuntino a metà mattina,
Mid-morning snack.
as well as uno spuntino di mezzanotte.
Midnight snack.
Yeah, that. I will say that's not like the most common thing to do,
Well,
but
that
some
was-
people will.
That was my question. So is spuntino di mezzanotte a thing in Italy?
Well, like it is
Like after you go
in
out?
the US to say midnight snack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to a club and clubs don't open till whatever, midnight or 1 a.m.,
Oh, yeah. So I
you
guess
might have a midnight snack, uno
like
spuntino
a
di
little disco
mezzanotte.
snack.
Disco snack. And then when you go to the clubs and you're serious about it, like people, in Romagna, we take our clubs very seriously. You also have an early breakfast when you get out of the clubs at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And that might actually entail piadina.
Oh my
So
gosh.
savory food, because you've danced all night and you're really hungry for it.
So you really can. I was joking when I
Wow.
said you could eat 24 hours a day, but basically, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could.
Food is available at, often all times, but not in the way that it is in the US, where you can have breakfast at 4 p.m.
Or midnight.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't do that,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Well, tell us about the next category. So we've had breakfast, we've had our mid-morning snack,
And now we're going to have il pranzo.
lunch.
Yes. In Italy, il pranzo is usually served anywhere from 12 to 2:30 p.m. Most Italians will sit down and enjoy their lunch for an hour to an hour and a half, preferably at home, but at times also at the restaurant or bar. Most Italians, both adults and children, go home for lunch if the time or distance allows. A classic lunch at home includes 2-3 courses like pasta, gnocchi, or riso,
Rice,
followed by carne
meat,
or pesce,
fish,
or a large salad and vegetables, and frutta
fruit,
or formaggio.
cheese,
Pane
bread,
is a staple on the table for both lunch and dinner, and so is a cup of caffè at the end of the meal. Normally, il pranzo is our biggest and most sustaining meal of the day.
So this is quite different from putting a frozen meal into the microwave at work.
Yeah.
Elisa just
no.
gave me stink eye.
Yeah,
when I
you
said
know,
that.
I feel like fainting when I hear that.
No, this looks amazing to have a 2 or 3 course meal at home. In between. Wow.
One of the saddest thing I'll have to say for an Italian, one of the saddest things to witness when we move to the US is watching people eat a burger in their car, and that's their lunch.
Aww.
It's very sad because you're just accomplishing one function, which is filling up your stomach. You're not giving your food the time to be really tasted and enjoyed. And especially you're just doing it alone in a car. So it's not a social moment, which makes food special for us. So.
Yeah, I don't want to say that we're doing it wrong here in the US, but maybe we're doing it wrong. I don't know. It's something to consider.
Yeah. And, I'll say we have, as Italians, we have days where a full lunch, even like a 2-3 course meal at home is not possible. So people will say, oh, faccio uno spuntino al bar. I'll have a spuntino, like a light snack at the bar, instead of a proper lunch. And that will be either a salad and a sandwich or a large salad.
Okay.
We still consider like a spuntino not a proper lunch.
Yeah, that's so interesting. That to me sounds like a proper lunch.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish, wish it
Yeah.
was
And then the
Italian.
other people, like when they hear about it, they feel kind of miserable for them.
Aww.
It was just a quick lunch, you know?
Well, so this is our third meal of the day, and next we have our fourth meal of the day. And what
Yeah.
is that?
So this one is la merenda.
This is a mid-afternoon snack. So this is my second snack of the day. This is my fourth meal of the day.
It's not quite a meal.
Wow.
But la merenda is the classic afternoon snack that most Italians learn to enjoy when they're school children around 4 or 5 p.m., when dinner is still a few hours away, but the little tummies are already feeling hungry. Many Italians will continue to eat la merenda for the rest of their life and enjoy every single minute of it. For little ones, a slice of pane con Nutella.
Bread with hazelnut spread.
Or a glass of latte.
Milk.
With a few biscotti.
Cookies.
Are classic examples of merenda. During the summer, gelato is probably everyone's favorite afternoon snack.
This is such a sweet tradition. And it sounds very much like in the UK, an afternoon tea.
Yeah.
Other
people will have an apple, a piece of fruit, a yogurt. It will be also la merenda. Because, in Italy, we tend to eat dinner later than in the US. So classic Italian dinner is like 8, 8:30, sometimes 9. So you need to have something to hold you over.
So it sort of bridges the gap.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm liking all of these snacks. And the next one is probably my favorite of all meals/snacks.
Sì, adoro.
It's my favorite meal category.
I love l'aperitivo.
Aperitif.
Yes. Aperitivo is yet another excuse Italians have found to sit together around a table and enjoy food, drinks, and each other's company. Aperitivo consists of a drink like vino,
wine,
or a cocktail, plus a variety of finger foods.
Stuzzichini.
Consumed between 6 and 8 p.m. just before dinner. Many Italians will meet at a bar for aperitivo on the weekend during the fall and winter seasons, and often during the week as well when the weather gets warmer. Aperitivo at a bar can be followed by dinner at home or at a different restaurant, or when more substantial, like apericena.
Apericena?
Yeah.
Is that another meal category?
Aperitivo e cena, apericena. It can replace dinner altogether. If having aperitivo out, you can expect to pay about 10 euros for a drink and a side of patatine,
chips,
olive,
olives,
noccioline,
peanuts,
pizzette,
small pizzas,
or focaccia with salumi.
Cold cuts. This is definitely one of my favorite things.
Yes.
One of my favorite parts of La Dolce Vita in Italy. Aperitivo is sublime.
Yes, I agree.
When you go and have your aperitivo, like let's say you're on a rooftop terrace, you're in Florence, Cesenatico, you're looking over at the beach and the seaside town. What do you eat? Like, what do you drink?
Spritz.
Spritz, Aperol
Yeah.
Spritz.
I'm not a wine person, and I don't like too many different types of alcohol, but Spritz, I always have room for a Spritz.
Oh my gosh.
Especially when it's that hot. I'm always in Italy visiting in the summer. And so I'll have that. And then different establishments will serve different types of aperitivo. But like we mentioned, classics are olive, pizzette, pizza, focaccia, patatine. Those are I always enjoy all those finger foods, gli stuzzichini.
One thing about aperitivo, you just said about meals being about the company and about sort of the atmosphere. I know all of the parts, the things that we eat, the things that we consume and drink. But every time I think about having one, it's about the people I'm sitting at the table with, the people watching, the light in the piazza.
Yes.
Yeah,
and sometimes
fantastic.
even your friends may invite you for dinner at their house, but they'll say, come half an hour before that and we'll have a little aperitivo.
It's so lovely.
My brother does that all the time, for example, and I love it. It's little finger foods and a glass of wine or whatever you want to drink as they are getting ready to put the meal on the table. You chat and you visit with each other. It's just a lot of fun.
It's less formal. It's so fun.
Yes. It's just I always associate aperitivo with the idea of relax. Yeah.
So would you compare aperitivo to like happy hour, or it's a completely different
I'll confess I've never
concept.
been to happy hour.
What?
Yes. I don't drink, so for me, happy hour, unless they're serving rolls of sushi, doesn't have much of an appeal. So.
Well, so here in the U.S., and I can't speak for other places, but happy hour is generally from like, let's say it depends on the establishment, but between like 5 and 7 p.m. And drinks are less expensive, maybe snacks are less expensive, or snacks are free so that you get these like cocktails, whatever.
Yeah,
So sort
kind of.
similar, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like it would be very similar to that.
Similar, but not.
Yeah.
It's not in Italy, and it's not on the rooftop.
And there's no
overlooking the sea.
prosciutto.
No, or if there is, it's just not exactly the same.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, not to belabor the comparisons, but so I feel like I'm already full, and yet okay, we're
Stretch that stomach, Erin.
stretching. Okay, now I've got my stretchy pants on.
There's always Spanx for later.
I'm wearing a big dress. Okay, so what's next?
Pack your moo when you're planning to visit Italy.
I've got my caftan.
So we have la cena.
Dinner.
Yes. Dinner in Italy is usually served around 8 or 8:30 p.m., but sometimes as late as 10 or 10:30 p.m., especially in the summer when it's very hot.
That makes a lot of sense, but it sounds so late.
Yes, it is late, but it's not that late when you have had a leisurely aperitivo at 6 or 7 p.m. and then you're strolling, say, around the town center or the beach community, as I like. You chat with friends, you visit a few stores, and 9 or 10 rolls around pretty easily.
Oh,
yeah.
You just took me on a whole journey. That's so fun. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now I'm having my a late dinner. So.
Yeah. I don't think people at home would eat at 10 or 10:30, but it's more common when you're out to eat that late. Sometimes you may hit an area that's very crowded. I see this speaking for myself when I go to the beach community in Cesenatico, and you show up at 9 and a lot of tables are taken, so you kind of have to wait a little bit. So you stroll along the canal and you wait for table at 9:45.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds really late, but when you're in good company, it really isn't.
Yeah.
So,
and it's memorable. It's something different.
Yeah. So, la cena is not too different from il pranzo in terms of what it consists of, but for most, it doesn't include pasta, unless pranzo was a quick spuntino. For cena, Italians love to sit down with their families and enjoy a zuppa.
A soup.
Or maybe a first course of carne.
Meat.
Or pesce.
Fish.
Followed by fresh or cooked vegetables, cheese, and fruit.
So my North American mind, I'm thinking that dinner would be the largest meal of the day. And earlier you said that pranzo, lunch, is generally the largest meal of the day. So when you sit down to dinner, then you're not overstretching the moo-moo.
Yeah. This is the general guideline. But then it always depends, if, let's say it's the weekend and it's Saturday night, you're planning to meet for dinner with friends, then I would say probably dinner is your biggest meal. And some people may choose to have a lighter lunch. During the work week, depending on what your job is, I would say lunch is the most sustaining by a little bit. But then, some people may have a really busy job where they can't have a large meal or the time for a large meal. And then at that point, dinner might become the main meal of the day. So it varies, but I would say in general, we put more weight on pranzo.
So this is like 50 different types of meals. 6, I think. What's your favorite meal of the day? Do you have a favorite, Elisa?
On a regular work day, la colazione, because it's sweet and it has coffee. And those are 2 of my favorite things. But on the weekend or when I'm in Italy, I love having dinner with friends, families, aperitivi with friends. Anytime, any meal that brings the company for me and the chatting and just enjoying food with people I've spent half of my life with. That to me is my favorite meal. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is.
Oh, so sweet.
See.
So it looks like there's a couple of bonuses.
Yes, we do. We have, as a bonus, l'ora del caffè.
I can't even imagine that there's even more room To eat. I'm pulling my belt buckle out. I can't. Okay.
Well, you know what? To be fair, this is coffee etiquette. And so this is just liquid.
Okay. Liquid diet.
Yeah.
Let's dive right in. So this is l'ora del caffè.
In Italy, caffè is usually served in the form of espresso or one of its several variations and is consumed throughout the day in between or after meals, not during them.
Oh, wait. Let's take that in. So you don't have coffee with your meal?
Except for breakfast.
Okay.
Right? Like in the US, it's typical for people to go to lunch or dinner and they'll have an omelette and then they are drinking coffee. And of course, your American coffee is like diluted, so it's a lot of coffee.
Did you hear that shade, you guys? You should have seen the look that she just gave me. She knows what my coffee order is, and
it's not drunk in 2 seconds like we do.
Yeah.
So no, for us, coffee is not a companion to a meal unless it's your breakfast, because we prefer drinks that complement the food and exalt the flavors of the food that you're eating a little bit better than coffee.
So forgive me if I'm wrong. So what I think I'm hearing is that coffee is more of a means to an end. It is a jolt. It is a jolt of caffeine.
For some people, it might be. For others, like if you really love the taste of coffee, for some people, it's just the joy and it's the end in itself.
Yeah.
If you like to taste coffee, like I drink black coffee, espresso, and so for me, the joy of the whole thing is just savoring that.
The best 2 seconds of your day.
That whole day. You know, it's what gets me out of bed.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yes. 2 seconds.
Yeah. So anyway, a traditional cafe in Italy is much smaller than what is typically served in the United States. So it's best to order a caffè lungo.
A diluted espresso.
Or an americano.
We know this one, an American style coffee.
If you want extra water. Now, of course, an americano in Italy is not going to be the same as American coffee, but it's whatever. Comes maybe close, you know.
Elisa's never seen one, so she has no idea what we're talking about.
The funny thing, I love American coffee, and most of the people that I've had over here in the US from Italy, like my brother and his family, my cousin, they all loved American coffee.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, my brother came here and stayed a few weeks years ago and went home and bought a coffee machine to make caffè americano.
Really?
Yeah. They loved it.
Aww.
It's just in Italy, it's not typical to sip on such a big cup of coffee. But they love the taste, and I agree.
Well, that's a game changer. That's different. I'm surprised. Come on, surprised.
But just so that you know, you will find caffè americano in many bars in Italy and caffè, but it's not going to taste the same.
Right, because it's used with espresso. So it's espresso diluted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And then a caffè doppio.
Double espresso.
Will provide more caffeine if you're feeling particularly tired. And if you prefer your coffee with a splash of milk, get a macchiato.
A shot of espresso with a dab of foamed milk.
Don't order a latte unless you want a glass of milk. Ask for a caffè latte instead. And forget about milk-heavy drinks after 10 or 10:30 in the morning.
We've said this so many times. This is we keep repeating it.
It bears repeating.
Yes.
The popular cappuccino is a breakfast item for Italians, not a dessert. So while it's perfectly acceptable to drink it before mid-morning, we frown upon drinking or serving this flavorful drink anytime after that. Have a macchiato instead or a corretto.
This is coffee with a splash of liqueur.
If you really need an extra boost of energy and happiness. Remember, a corretto will only have a splash of liqueur.
Just a splash, but just enough happiness.
Yeah. Finally, remember that at a bar, coffee is never served to go, and a cappuccino and a cornetto,
croissant,
consumed while standing at the counter are cheaper, so about €2.50, than when sitting at a table, which will come to about €5.
So, Elisa, when you go into a bar, what's your coffee order?
Un caffè.
Just un caffè.
Yeah, so that will be an espresso.
This is a silly question, but what would you say to a first-time traveler to Italy about ordering coffee there as opposed to in the U.S. at a chain coffee shop? Like, just the experience is different, the coffee is different.
The coffee is different. You have to be prepared to drink espresso. I remember as an Italian, I watched my husband drink espresso years ago. He had never had it before. it wasn't popular at the time to have
90s.
an espresso.
If anybody,
90s.
giving a shout out to anybody who lived through the 90s. It was new.
And I mean, I watched this big guy like almost like go down to his knees because the espresso was so strong to him. And I was shocked. I guess it never crossed my mind. Like, wow, other people don't really have that much caffeine.
No.
In one shot. And he had a really hard time the very first time. And then he became an espresso lover. And nowadays he probably drinks more than I do. I would say that be prepared to have an espresso. And also in Italy, all the varieties of coffees that we have are meant to be consumed and enjoyed pretty much on the spot. Mm-hmm. You don't walk around with your big cup of
20 ounce.
Yeah, we don't.
Carafe of coffee.
We don't do that.
I like that actually.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
We have our dedicated spot for cafe, and once we leave it, our hands are free.
Yeah. What do you think about American coffee snobbery? We talked about this last week. Do you know what I mean by that? I have friends and friends of friends who try to outdo each other in terms of the type of coffee maker that they have, like real Italian coffee maker that they have, a real Italian coffee, or they like make the best foam. And there's a lot of ego surrounding that. Is that the same as in Italy?
I would say most Italians will use up that energy to create something artsy, which for them it's
instead of just a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Italians at home, they'll typically have a mocha pot.
That's what I have.
Yeah, and either have espresso from that, or some Italians will have a coffee machine like an espresso or, a no-name brand that makes individual cups of espresso. And then if you want a really, really good coffee with a fancy foam and everything, just go to the neighborhood bar.
And shell out €1.
And shell out €1 or two.
And get probably the best coffee of your life.
Yes, yeah. Some people are a little bit more peculiar about the brand of the coffee that they consume either at home or that they want to have served at the bar. Illy is a famous and an all-time favorite for many. At home, a popular brand is Lavazza.
Oh, my dad is also a Kimbo fan.
Yeah, Kimbo is also a good brand. I think it's very used in the South.
Yeah, Neapolitan. Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
Ciao, it's Erin. We're fading out here so that we can keep our free streaming episodes a reasonable length of time. For additional bonus audio and all kinds of other bonus materials, head to our website. Now back to the show.
Now that you know all the different parts of all the different meals that we have during the day as Italians, let's look at a dialogue and learn how to order like an Italian. So let's go to our next section, ordinare come un italiano.
Ordering food like an Italian.
So now that you've learned about where to eat, when to eat, and what to expect from every Italian meal, it's time for you to take your baggage of knowledge on the road and put it into practice at an Italian bar or restaurant. Let's start with a simple interaction between a customer, our Christy, and a barista.
Buongiorno, vorrei un cornetto e un cappuccino.
Certo, quale signora?
Il cornetto con la crema, per favore.
Ecco, a lei. Altro, signora?
Sì, un panino al prosciutto da portare via.
Questo va bene?
Sì, grazie. Quant'è?
€5, signora.
Ecco.
Grazie e buona giornata.
Arrivederci.
A few hours after that mouth-watering Italian breakfast, your stomach may start to grumble again, and you may be ready to visit the interesting trattoria that you read about. Many eateries will advertise their menù del giorno.
Menu of the day.
And their menù turistico.
Tourist menu.
At the entrance. These usually include an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert at a fixed price. The menù turistico usually being less exotic than the menù del giorno. Sometimes words and phrases like lo chef consiglia,
the chef suggests,
or lo speciale di oggi,
today's special,
will highlight specialties that are being offered based on what local foods the chef was able to pick up at the market that day. It's important to become familiar with a few things your cameriere or cameriera,
your waiter or waitress,
may say to you once you've sat down at your table. Porto qualcosa da bere?
Can I bring you something to drink?
Will prompt you to order your drinks for the meal. Then they'll usually check with you to see if you're ready to order. Desidera ordinare?
Would you like to order?
Once you're ready, they'll say prego
Go ahead.
and follow it with e poi
And then?
or altro.
Anything else?
If you are done ordering, just say basta così.
That's all.
When you're done eating your entree or second course, your waiter will check if you're interested in either a dessert or a coffee. Un dolce
A dessert?
or un caffè?
A coffee? Elisa, come si dice both?
Tutti e due.
Tutti e due.
Ottima idea. Excellent idea. Let's now look at a dialogue between our Christy and una cameriera.
Scusi?
Sì, signora. Porto qualcosa da bere?
Da bere. That's drink, so let's see. Sì, vorrei un bicchiere di vino rosso della casa, per favore.
Subito. Ecco, signora. Desidera ordinare?
Would I like to order? Sì, grazie.
Prego.
Let's see. Che cosa consiglia?
Oggi abbiamo dei buonissimi tortellini al ragù.
Tortellini al ragù. That sounds good. Sì, grazie. And then, let's see. I want an appetizer as well. Allora, tortellini al ragù e come antipasto prendo I crostini alla salsiccia.
Prende anche un secondo, signora?
Second course. Well, I can't leave Italy without tasting all the good stuff. All right, my diet starts next month. Let's see. Per secondo, una bistecca alla griglia con un'insalata mista.
Come preferisce la bistecca?
How do I prefer my steak? Oh yes, rare. Al sangue, per favore.
Altro, signora?
Basta così, grazie. I want to make sure I still fit into these pants before the end of the meal.
Come va, signora?
È delizioso, grazie.
Desidera un dolce, signora?
Dolce? Oh, that's dessert. No, grazie. Basta così.
Un caffè?
Actually, coffee sounds really good right now. Sì, un macchiato, per favore. And then, let's see. How do I ask for the check? Può portare il conto, per favore?
Certo, subito, signora. Ecco il conto, signora.
Posso pagare con la carta di credito?
Sì, va benissimo. Come si dice? That's all. I'm stuffed, thank you.
Basta così, sono piena come un uovo.
Bravissima.
Hey,
and,
grazie.
of course you said piena because you're a woman, but if you were a man, you would say pieno.
Leave
Now
it.
stick with us for episode 15. Lesson 15 is going to be a mini glossaries about food and dietary restrictions. So very useful vocabulary. And then we'll have a bonus material. So lesson 15B that we are going to call food rules.
Food rules. And so this
Yeah.
one, if you've listened to our season 1, you are very familiar with our 30 plus food rules that we expressed in that one. So that's going to be
We have
a reminder.
38, yes.
38. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And so that's part of our bonus material. So that's not, if you're listening to the free portion of our podcast, first of all, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And if you want just a scooch extra, just that extra like corretto, that shot, that shot of food rules, then sign up for our bonus materials. And
Sì,
have some fun with us
esatto.
there.
Bravissimi. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Ciao.
Ciao, it's Elisa again. As you can tell, Erin and I love to talk about what travelers can expect when they visit Italy. Not just language, obviously, but with the culture, food, and so much more. In our free streaming episodes, we only scratch the surface. But in our bonus materials, you'll get access to everything, including transcripts for each episode, as well as translations, vocabulary lessons, and cultural tips from today's roundtable. Visit postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for details. Have the confidence of an Italian even in simple conversations and everyday situations. With our bonus materials, you'll get ad-free, full-length audio conversations, practice exercises with written worksheets, and bonus graphics that decode gestures, road signs, and menus.
Our premium subscribers get one additional bonus not found anywhere else. For our Italian for Travelers family, we've created uninterrupted glossaries for each episode that include the English word or expression, followed by the Italian version, which is then repeated so that you can listen and learn, practice, and repeat. These no-fuss listen and repeat glossaries take the drama out of learning travelers' Italian. Listen in the car, on your morning walk, on planes and trains, even while doing dishes or making dinner. Each episode's glossary file features all of the mini glossaries in that lesson, so you can focus on the terms and situations that matter most to you, like food, shopping, or sightseeing. This is only for our Season 2 bonus material subscribers, so sign up today.
If you're an intermediate learner, you may also love the lessons in our Season 1 bonus materials, so check out our website. Visit postcardsfromitalypodcast.com for details. Postcards from Italy is a labor of love, connecting different cultures as we explore the dynamic nature of modern Italy through its language.
And remember to follow us on Instagram and sign up for our emails to stay updated on webinars and classes.
Thank you for listening. Non vedo l'ora di incontrarci di nuovo.